What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're here with Ricky and we're here with Tyga in the back, and we're headed to the junkyard to find some little bits and pieces for the homies' cars. So Tyga back there needs a post mount for his K24 CRV, and the one that's on there now is a Type S, which one bolt doesn't line up. I didn't know this, but you know, we're learning. And we need a K24 specific bracket, which comes on the 02 Plus CRV, and there's one at the yard, so we're trying to go find that. And we're just trying to see what else is in there. I had some leads on some cars there, but you know, it's been a few days since I was told the cars were there. I'm trying to see if anything is still there so we can score. I don't think we're gonna go to the other yard, so I think after this we're probably, I don't know, we'll probably go to Tyga's house after and check out his CRV a little bit, but let's get to the yard. If you guys have seen the video when we were working on Bronson's car, he has a broken tail light, and here's a hatch here, which is very uncommon, and it has a perfect tail light, but none of us have an 8mm to take it off. Use my dikes, got the screws off. Now we got ourselves a tail light. I know you guys are gonna kill me because this car actually has the shelves, right? And it has both cargo cover, split in half, but very common, and I'm not taking it. Kill me in the comment section. Go for it. Got 50 life. I'll be back. I know it sucks that we don't get the EF and DAs in the junkyard as much anymore, but you're getting all the newer stuff. Hey, stick shift? No. No?
Automatic.
Automatic. Wait, why is it automatic with a shift knob? Look at that. Newer car means opportunity for K's, J's, B's, Subies. What is this? Is that 240?
Yeah. Wow.
Boy, this thing got chopped. Dude, you can tell, like, it's stitched and everything.
Slotted road.
That's unfortunate.
That's sad.
If you guys saw the other video, there's another Lancer this year that came in, and it was set up like an Evo. Thought it was an Evo, but it wasn't. And these are the newer cars that I'm talking about that's now coming to your yard a lot more often. Pretty sure it was this one. So I was informed last week, right, Ricky? Last week? When you were supposed to come with me? This car, I believe it was this car that had a B20 VTEC in it. You can tell because that's the EM1T bracket right there, right? And it had full suspension, everything on it just dropped. They didn't let anybody touch the car, and I slept on it. Oh, weird looking Camry kits, but obviously completely stripped. No score today. The real reason why we're here is for the CRV. They just dropped it, and we need the post mount. Is it there? Mm-hmm. Oh, they took it off already.
Yes, sorry.
And that's what's sitting on the freaking frame rail. Yo, somebody tilt this damn engine, and we got to get that one bolt off so we can get that post mount. Couldn't pry the engine, so I decided to take off the motor mount, let the engine drop itself. Get it? All the way. Here's a nut for that big old stud.
Barely, it's like it's still hitting.
Still hitting? Ricky, work your muscles. Oh, you got it? Let me see. So for the K series, guys, we need the flat mount, and the one that we had on his car was the TSX, which was stepped, and also the one that we had was a K20, so the bolt was, I think, further down. Actually, you know what, this one looks kind of funny.
The one that we had, with the one with the other one that was too short.
Right.
Yeah.
But why does this thing look so close to each other though? Or am I tripping? Look at this right here. Guys, there wasn't much at the junkyard, but they're gonna go to Tyga's house right now. I gotta edit a video, and then I'm gonna head over there. But before he goes and takes the other post mount off his motor, let's double check to make sure that this bolt pattern is the same, because to my eyes it looks more closer, but I could be wrong. Looks like it's the right one. Hell yeah. So hopefully this fits his motor. All 3 bolts into place. I can get my post mount back. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm wearing my music hat beanie, which was sent to me from Luis. This is Bluetooth to my phone because my stereo, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So yesterday we got the transmission, everything made it up to the long block, and we installed the engine with the side mounts, and it's already nice and firm. Wait, did you do the back?
Oh yeah, we'll just see if it fit.
Yeah, so the back is not even bolted in. It's pretty solid in there now, right? But I don't know if you guys can see it in the camera. The engine is slanted to the left, and that's the K20 post mount, where this guy is not aligning to this bolt right there, that bolt hole. I don't know if you guys can see that. The bolt hole's like an inch off maybe. And hey,
Yes.
where's all your water pump bolt, fool?
It's over here.
You didn't put all that thing back on, boy.
Yeah.
So the other mount, it already looks longer. So I'm hoping that this one's not going to be a pain to bolt into place, because we got to get enough room to put a bolt, because it's a long bolt, to go from here to here. But I mean, if we have to, we'll lower the engine or lift it up or whatever the case is. Get this installed, get the engine straight. If you guys don't know, the K-Series starter has a long 14 in the back and a 17 in the front, so don't get the two mixed up, wondering why a 17 don't fit in there. But this is convenient because it made this bolt super long for you to have access to it here, instead of putting an extension and trying to get to it in the back. So he's doing that right now. Do not put the jack directly on the oil pan. Use a brick to kind of, you know, level out, equal out the pressure. What are these, 19s? See, this one doesn't have the stud on it, and it came like that off my engine. This one has a stud on it, and on my K-Series, I cut this little thing off because it was super tall in the CRX, and I don't think we're gonna have an issue in the CRV, because look at that height, all that space. All we got to do is shift the engine forward, and we should be able to put a bolt right there. So go ahead and take that off real quick. See, now if you look at the difference, look at the distance between this bolt and that one. K24, K20, K20, K24. Get the right one for your motor. So the block that goes to the transmission right there in the middle.
This one?
Yeah, that one. That one requires a longer 17mm bolt. And I had to grab that from the house. You can't really see it. This one right here. Oh, cut my finger too. But yeah, we're gonna put that on right there. Bolt the rear bracket on. We got this one in place. For some reason, the engine is still sitting like slanted towards the passenger side. I mean, it's gonna work, but if it really bothered him much, we can just put washers down here and space it down. Because if we drop this mount to the second hole, the driver's side is going to lean a lot more. So not a big deal as of right now. So the thing about that Hasport motor mount kit, they never give you instructions on what bolt goes where. So we've been trying to figure out all of the bolt and length and where they're supposed to be going. But the thing is, this kit was missing a ton of bolts, or at least a ton of bolts I think they were missing, because you can see we only got one here. It's got a stock one here, got a stock one underneath. This guy back here only had two of the Hasport bolts, and we had to put a third one on there from the previous motor mount. And this one right here, I'm gonna assume, because these guys are equal length, this one and this one, these two guys right here are gonna go down to the bracket at the bottom that goes to the transmission, and then this last one right here is going to go to this one right there, and then we have the back bolt that goes into that with the nut as well. You got enough power?
Woo!
Boy, that thing is going to shoot. You gonna power me, get away.
Yeah.
Damn, man. This thing made me super lightheaded. Really, really tight springs. So guys, this is a Megan Racing header. Big tubes. Originally listed as $200. But how much you picked this up for?
Probably 195-ish.
195?
185.
185. Look at that, big tubes. If you guys want an affordable big tube, Megan Racing, PLM, they all work. And they are painting in the EF chassis. You have to modify the subframe a lot, like I'm gonna have to do on my car. But for other chassis that don't have fitment issues, these headers will help you make some good power. I wish I had all the space back here between my subframe. Just like that. Come on, bro. Cheap headers, man. They're not that heavy, bro. Don't start shaking on me now. Push it up. We flush, boys. We are flush. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother.
It's good?
Yep. So this is an automatic half shaft, because this is the one that came off the TSX motor that's in the car, and I pulled this from the junkyard from an automatic TSX. Now I'm certain we're supposed to use a 5-speed or an R6 Type S, but I don't know if I have the Type S at home. I'm gonna go home and see if I have a half shaft. If not, I know Jesus Christ does. So I left the camera here for Tiger to put some work into his car, right? And me and Ricky went driving around to find a half shaft. I didn't have a half shaft, but Jesus Christ did. So he picked us up a half shaft. So we picked up a half shaft right here, which came off the engine at my house, and hopefully that's gonna fit in the car. And this guy is over here cleaning his intake manifolds, because he's gonna be running this manifold right now until he upgrades later down the road. And I forgot to bring the throttle body as well too, but that's not a big deal. We can put that in when the you know, everything's all said and done. But right now, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to fit the half shaft into place so we can further make progress on everything else around the engine, like a K2 water neck. This bling bling thing right here, boy. Look at that. Woo. And also, Ricky, he had left home earlier to get food for his kid, and he came back with his Integra. And this is what I was driving a little while ago. Kind of went up in temp a little bit today. It's pretty hot. And I was bang bang choo choo training everywhere, going home to Jesus' house, so we let it cool down real quick. But everything seems to be working as it should. I drove it and it feels amazing, other than the two-step being a little weird, which we'll have Daniel look into. But I mean, how did it feel? Hands still sweating? Go ahead.
Yep, still wet.
Still wet.
Gotta check my drawers. Actually, driven it like that, you know? Ever since the track.
Well, look at here, guys. Look at here. We got all the bolts bolted in place. Now, these half shaft bolts right here, these have like little spacers on it. They're supposed to help align the half shaft. And then that one's just a regular threaded 14mm bolt. So, this is done, and I gotta go check out Ricky's car, because he's pointing out something to me that I didn't notice until right now. What's going on? Oh! It broke! Dude. If you guys remember, I made this front motor mount because Ricky doesn't have motor mounts in his car. And I made that out of a front suspension, energy suspension bushing. And
the bang bang.
Yo, that pulls we did earlier, man, that thing done destroyed that front mount. Dang, Ricky, sounds like you want to get some motor mounts soon, yeah?
Yep.
Oh yeah. So the K2 water neck right here, this is for the K24a2 and I believe the K20Z3. And it goes on the side of the head, while the A2 sits in the front here. So this kit provides its own hardware, and this means we have to remove the studs. And right here there are 2 studs, 2 bolt holes, and what we're doing is putting 2 12 nuts on here, tied it together, and then back this bottom one out. It should, you know, kind of break this loose from the head, so we can use the provided hardware. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this up real quick.
My chair is already loose.
Makes our life easier, yeah?
Y'all got it, dude.
The moan. Oh, Butterfinger. So the K2 unit has O-rings integrated into it. I mean, not integrated, it's grooved in for an O-ring. So this doesn't use any like RTV or anything like that. Just throw it on, put the bolts on, tighten it down, torque it down if you want to be specific. And all of these fittings are completely up to you, whether you're running heater. You can run a barb style right here for regular hoses, or the -16 for like a tuck radiator or something. And I'm not even sure what this guy's for, but yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and bolt this on.
Which way do you?
I need a tender.
It's O-ring.
Oh, is it cool?
So we're looking at this port right here. This is typically threaded for like the H2O water temp sensor. And I was gonna plug it up, but I was like, yo, get your harness so I can figure out if they have ran the wire in that location for us to put a sensor on it. So I'm looking at it, and the wire for that guy is right here. H2O. I don't know if you guys can see that. Right there. So this is in place with all the sensors on the side of the head. So these two guys right here, these two blue ones, are for these two guys right there, and that means we are going to be running a sensor there. So we're going to pull this sensor here off one of his spare head that's in the trunk, slap it right there. He said he's not going to be running heater because the heater never worked since he's bought in this car, so we might plug that up with the provided plug right there. I think that's O-ringed. Yes, it is. And then I think that's pretty much it for that. Who knows? Might even install this harness in as well too. This is a ride wire harness right here. Boy's fancy as hell. So they just got all the bolts and everything tightened up, the thermostat housing and stuff routed, and right here we're just gonna loop this because he's not gonna run heater. Originally I was gonna plug that, but then I was like, I don't know what you're supposed to use to plug here. I don't want to cut this and weld it, so we're just gonna loop it for now. I mean, it's not a big deal to change this setup later. So right now he's gonna do the alternator relocating kit, and this is the K2 steel unit right here with the pulley. We got to take this off your alternator, put this one on. I realized that I was like, you know what, I had him buy that kit, right? You know, I'm an EF guy, so I was like, well, that kit brings the alternator down, we can close the hood. And then I completely forgot, this is a freaking CRV. We have a lot of space. We could have used the EP3 pulley, right? We could have, but we didn't. So we're using the alternator relocating kit. So that's gonna work, not a big deal. Kind of hides the alternator way down there a little bit to get the engine bay a little bit more cleaner look. Let's install it. So step one is to get the provided pulley on the alternator, which is this guy right here. On mine, I actually don't even run this, and we don't have the big impact to break that sucker loose, so we're not going to install this. Right now we're going to go to step two. Step two is to install the lower bracket, and that is this guy right here with the two spacers in the back, which are these guys right here, 2x 6mm and then 2 bolt M10 by 25mm provided with the kit. Step 3, now we will install the top alternator bracket using the M8 by 20mm bolts on the right, and then the bolt passes through the bracket, the threads directly into the bottom right of the water pump housing. For guys who don't understand, we have a picture. So top alternator bracket right here, step 3. We're going to be doing this guy, and this is for the alternator, so we're not worried about that right now, but we're going to be using this M8 by 20. M8 by 20, where'd you go? This sucker right here? M8 by 20, like that. You guys got to make sure that you slide this into the little tabs right here. Can't see it. And then bolt that one in place, and then we can do the alternator, which then is the other bolt on the other side. This right here is the other alternator bolt. It's the longest one in the box, and then you're supposed to use the 13.5mm spacer, which is this guy right here. Is it?
Is it in?
Teamwork makes the dream work. So that was step number 4, putting the other bolt in for the alternator. Step 5, the top bolt and bracket are now holding the alternator in place, so you should be able to test fit the 17.5mm or 19mm spacer between the bracket and the backside of the alternator case. When the spacers are fitted, use either the M8 65mm or 75mm long bolts and the supplied serrated M8 nuts to complete the alternator install. So there are 2 sizes to this, which is this guy and this guy. We got to figure out which one fits. the most snugged, and then run the bolt through with the nut. So it looks like we're using the 17.5 and the 65 mil for his setup, and he's getting that all buttoned up right now. And then we'll install this top portion right here, which is the tensioner, and that is this guy right here with the provided hardware, and then we'll get the belt on as well too. So the alternator relocating kit is fully installed. We were a little confused on how this was supposed to be tightened down, and then we realized that this separates from this. So that's all nice and tensioned, not ultra tight, and we rotated the crank to make sure it's still spun freely. And right now we're going to do the axle. So we were reading online, they say you can use the stock CRV RD1 axles, but just flip it. So we're going to be taking the driver's side, putting on the passenger to driver. Makes sense because half shaft is on that side now. So he's test fitting this one real quick to see if it'll work, and we will report back in just a second. Alright guys, so we have the axle installed, reversed. This is the passenger side, the driver is on the other side. It fits perfectly, which is freaking awesome. And you can see right there, nice and straight. This is the DC subframe with EG rack, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll cover more about this when this car is like done, or probably do like a review video, kind of talk about the certain things that we had to modify to put a K in the CRV. I wish I was able to show you guys a full thorough, but homeboy wanted to jump ahead, so you know, he already like jumped 30 leaps and we were trying to catch up to him. We don't have the forks on it because this guy is a lot wider than a DC lower control arm. There was a little write-up to say that you're supposed to use the CRV lower, but I don't know, he kind of, like I said, jumped the gun. So we're going to use a DC lower. We're going to space these out another day, and let me show you the other side. We were a little worried about this one because it wasn't going in for a little while, but we were able to get that into place. Definitely the rack is like way out of alignment. It is super towed in on both sides. We'll figure that out another day as well too. But I think we're going to wrap it up for today, or at least I'm going to wrap it up for him, because he, you know, his car is here in the garage and not in my garage. I wrote a list for him that he could do for the time being until I come back with, you know, some materials to finish up like the charge harness and stuff, because it is super short. So hopefully when I come back, man, it better be some progress. But if you guys are enjoying the update on his CRV, there will be a lot more to come on it. We still got to do the fuel system, a couple other installation that he, I mean, I can't say that he can't do it, but he's new to K, so there's a few things that I'm gonna have to show him how to do. If you guys want to stick around for all of that, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, I'm gonna go home. I want to play some Warzone. I keep forgetting to put my ID in the bottom. It's probably at the bottom now, hopefully. Crossing fingers for you guys. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.